Hey everybody, welcome. Let me double check, make sure everything's working for you guys. All right, we are live. Let me make sure we're live.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Okay, it's showing me live, but not on this one.
Next hour or so.
Okay, this is a problem.
Get TikTok started up, and then we'll get going here, okay? For the book read. Welcome everybody.
What is going on? Why is hold it. That's not right. This should be Gingerbread House. So what's going on with the book read? Oh yeah, for the book read. This shouldn't be the one that's live right now. Okay, hang on, you guys. Something's not right. Restream has been doing really weird stuff all day. And I don't think what it didn't do was it did not give me this event. So it's a problem. I may not have it for you guys today. It's happening now, Gingerbread House. Yeah, where is it? Let's go. It should be on, and it's telling me it's on now. There I am.
All day. And I don't think
Okay, here we go, guys. So we are live, no problem. I just want to make sure we're live. It's just weird the way it went off because it's showing me live and it's showing me what I did this morning. So let me get on the other screen to double check so we can get you guys going because we have audio. That was weird. A lot of weird things. I'm not saying what company I deal with, but it drives me crazy. It's not. It's thoroughly done. There we go. Now we're on. Okay. All right, let me get TikTok going here and we'll get started. Sorry about that, kids. In fact, let me get your chat up while I'm up here. We got the chats up, so if any of you are actually out there watching, I have one. That'll be me. Okay, so let me change this out here. TikTok hasn't been saving when I name stuff, so it's kind of irritating. So we're going to change the goal up here too for TikTok. Okay, here we go. I found some really cool stuff to add to this, and I think we're going to have some fun today. Gingerbread build. Take it, save it. All right, we're ready. So I'm going live right now on TikTok, and we're going to rock out, get this thing going. Let me get everything set with the camera. Here we go. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, we'll stay with the Santa Lattes then, because we're good with that right now. All right, everybody, welcome. Let me get this set up and put you in a good position here. You assume the position with TikTok. There we go. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Oh, no one's here yet over there. Got you guys all over here. Let me get this locked down a little bit. I hate dangling cords. Okay, everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday. Technical difficulties as always, trying to get this stuff done. How is everybody doing today? All right, here we go. All right, we're continuing to build this gingerbread house. My friend gave me a bunch of cookies, and they're like gingerbread from Norway. I looked at them today, and it's interesting because this back wall, I'm going to show you something. Here's the front wall we've done on the house. This is what it looks like. It looks really good. See how nice it looks? Because we're going to paint those windows in. But look at the back wall. It's all sparse, and I haven't liked it. So what we can do, and this is something I found today, my friend gave me these gingerbread cookies. I didn't realize what they were until I opened the thing. And check this out, you guys. We're going to be able to decorate this wall. Now, I want to ask you guys what you think is out there. Hey, how goes it? I want to ask you what you guys think, okay? Let me find this place to open this. This was hard to open the first time. The dog's in the mood. I have a female cat that's hot to trot. She's screaming all the time. Like a zoo in this house. Where'd the lifter go? Hang on. Where'd it go? I got it open the first time. Now I can't open it. That's what you get for messing with it, right? Right here. We may not have these at all right now. What's going on with this? Don't you hate when you get this stuff you can't open? Oh, come on. We may not have them after all. Should have left the stupid top off. This is where I open it. There it goes. Okay. So let me show you. So this is where I'm going to ask your advice. See the bell? The gingerbread cookie bell. So we have some things to choose from. So here's some Christmas trees. See that? And what else is in here? I see we got bells, we got Christmas trees. The bells not gonna quite well, we could. Oh, there's a heart in here. So there's stuff we can do. So my question, oh look at the mini house. Look at the mini house, you guys. Look. So here's the question I have for everybody, because we're building this thing together, right? This is like our project. They have snowflakes. See, there's a whole snowflake. Oh, here's one right here that hasn't broken. So my question to you is, and we'll do it right now. I think that's it. I think that's our only shapes. Unless there's reindeer in here, but I don't think so. I was thinking about these Christmas trees that they have to put them like, we could do them in green, right? Put them in the yard, like Christmas trees, like trees. And what I was thinking, as I was thinking about this stuff earlier, there's a couple Christmas trees in here we can use. Okay, I don't see any reindeer or anything. Okay, there you have it. What do you think if we put a bell up here in the highest eve here? So how long do you think you're going to last in my chat asking me a question like that? What do you think? Huh? How long do you think you're going to last in my chat for asking that question? Bye-bye. You are blocked. You're out of here. Goodbye. Okay. You've inundated my whole chat with your crap. So let me get this person out of here, okay, guys? And now we have to stop. We have to deal with this nasty piece of shit right here. Always gotta be one piece of crap. Look, it's gonna take me a minute, you guys, okay? I know I need to make a mod, huh? That's crazy, Jennifer. I don't know how to do that on YouTube. I don't know how to do a YouTube mod. I think I got this guy. Hi, Jen. Thank you. Good. Okay, this one here is the one I gotta get. God can't even talk right, man. Look at this a-hole. Here he's slowing it down for everybody else. I hate humanity. Here I've got family watching this stuff, and then I got to put up with this crap. Something went wrong. Oh, so I can't get low of this guy. Get rid of this guy on my chat. Is that what you're saying? That'll return me in, and YouTube's after me. All right, so come on back, Jennifer. Honest to God. Okay. So let's wait a minute. I'll ask over here at TikTok. I'm going to go ahead and remove the comments and bring it back over. Piece of crap. Probably got kicked off. Are we still on Facebook? Hang on, I got to check, you guys. See if I got kicked off because I went after this guy. Now I have no comments at all. Oh, I can't check now. It's too late. If you don't see me over there, I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. Oh, there we go. Jennifer's back. All right. All it takes is one a-hole to ruin it for everybody. I have no tolerance. I got him. So what do you guys think? Jennifer, I'm going to ask you this too. I got 4 of you. I got 4 of you in here. 6 of you in here. So see this back wall in this house, I think it looks empty. It's naked. It's a naked back wall. So there's a heart option, which I don't know, Christmas, Or we could use, I have these Christmas trees. But I thought these Christmas trees might be better suited. Are you guys coming out of the woodwork right now just to irritate the hell out of me? Because I know it's you. You're the same person, or you wouldn't be doing this shit. Okay? Hey, get out of my. This is going to be bad today. This is going to be bad today. The trolls are out by the droves right now. These trolls are everywhere. This guy's got me blocked where I can't block him. Reload. Get these a-holes out of my chat. My God, okay. Jesus. Okay. Jen will be back. Okay, TikTok. I'm collecting 10 Santa hot chocolates. If you could help me out with that, some Santa hot cocos, I'll sing you a song when I get one. Okay? Just I'm collecting over there. And we're trying to control the trolls over here. Oh, clicking on your name. Let's see. Let's see if I can get you as a mod. Let's see what this does. No, it won't let me. We'll just have to deal with it. Just keep an eye out for these guys. Try clicking on my name to see if it's an option. It's not an option on here. So you know what? I'll set you up when I'm on YouTube on my laptop. We'll get you set up, okay? Anyway, keep an eye out for them. So what do you guys think? Should we put the bell up there? Jennifer, everybody? Should we put the bell up at the top over there on that back side? What do you guys think? Boy, they're out in droves. Man, there's kids watching this show. What kind of... Well, I'm not going to go there. Should we put the bell up here? What do you guys think? I don't know either. Just trying to figure out, because this just looks too plain to me. I'm going to make the attempt to paint the drapes today, and this is why we don't have that much work left for this, to be honest. I think the bill might look good. I'll just have to paint the bill red. Yeah? Okay. All right, let me try it. Let's mix the paint up. Let's make the attempt to mix the... I think red drapes. To do red drapes. Okay, we'll make the attempt to mix the paint for the red drapes and see where that takes us. Okay? Because remember, I got these gummies the other day. There's Santa, it's Bumble. It's Santa, it's Bumble. Yeah, the back. So it's Santa, it's Bumble, and we've got Rudolph. Gummies sitting on here. Because the back is really plain. So let's see what happens if I set up. Oh, we got blue drapes, or we can have green drapes. I guess it's green, no choice. With the water, with the colors. Okay, let's go green. I thought I had red, but I don't. Okay, I'm fine with it. Let me open this here. We'll get this. We'll start trying to make some stuff I can do the drapes with. I don't know if this is going to work. I bought a cheap paintbrush because I have really expensive craft brushes, and I didn't want to use my craft brushes, to paint on this thing. So we're going to try this. Let's try this with green and see how it goes. It shouldn't take that long to finish this. The candy canes I put up on the corner, the one set that had the wraparound pop down last night. So I'll see if I can get something better up there, to cut another set and see if I can get them to stick on there, but they will stick eventually. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can make some green frosting here. Ow! As I throw it across the room. Boy, that was fun. Nothing like getting inundated with lead heads. And then I cussed, and I'm sure Facebook and I'm sure you. I can't say the word. I'm sure Book of Face and Tube of You aren't very happy with me right now. But life goes on, right? Is this open and useful? Let's see. Okay, this is green. Must mix. Must mix. See how much mess I can turn. See how many times it takes me time to turn my fingers green. Mix, 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 mix. Gotta add some more white. This is like way too green. This is scary berry green. Not Grinch green. This is as green as you can get. This is scary berry green. At least a little offset from the other one though. You guys know what I mean, right? Scary berry green. This is scary berry green. Oh my. Hey, guess what I bought when I picked myself up last night? We were all talking about Chinese food on the chat on TikTok last night. And I got a craving. I want sushi really bad. But, like I said, my brother is the one that had me learning all that stuff. And I never learned to use chopsticks. So last night I got online and I found some chopstick training tools to teach you how to use chopsticks. And I think it's going to be fun. In fact, they're like giant chopstick tweezers. You put these things in between the chopsticks, and then you squeeze them like tweezers, and you can, do chopstick things with them. So next time I go out for sushi, you guys are coming along, or Chinese food, Asian food. You guys are coming along, and I'm going to try out the new my chopstick tweezers. I think even the dark green is sufficient, but we'll see if I can lighten it up a little bit more. And it's already on my fingers, so that didn't take long to the kids. Now there's a tree in the Grand Hotel. Well, that doesn't look too bad. So let's go ahead. A little more mixing. Then we'll try the paintbrush. If that doesn't work, then I'll shift this. I'll just shift to using the toothpicks. Where's the hand cleanser here? Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Right there. There you are, you little bugger. So welcome, everyone. It's good to see you. And it is Christmas. Actually, I go by the Catholic Church. I'm Catholic. And so Christmas goes all the way until like February 4th. And so we've always done this in my house. We've kept the celebration going on and on because it's so fun. And that's where I'm at. And that really started when my dad was in the hospital one year. He had to be in the hospital over Christmas. So I went out with my mother and we went to Kmart. And I bought what I called Martha. And it was our Martha Stewart tree. And the Martha Stewart tree was the first tree I'd ever seen. And I know they had them before. But the Martha Stewart tree was a Christmas tree that actually rotated. First time I'd ever seen one rotating. So we bought it for my dad. We decorated it because we didn't open any gifts. We didn't decorate or nothing. So we bought it for my dad. Had it waiting in the house for him. North Pole Radio. All the lights out front on, all that stuff. And we had Martha on, and so we had our Christmas like in the middle of January. So my dad would enjoy it. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see how this is going to work. Like I said, I have really expensive paintbrushes that I use for my art, for my other art stuff, but I'm not about to use those with frosting. Let's see if I can do this. And oh, that's not bad at all. Hot diggity. I'll have to wash it though so I can use. I might have to pick up another one tomorrow or today at the dollar store. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Now I look like those people on TV doing the cakes. You know who I'm talking about. All right. This is a great idea. So we'll get these windows going here. Want to see? I'll show you. Let me show you all. Then we'll put the bell up there. Make a decision on the bell. Look at that. Look at how nice it turned out. Look how nice that looks with the drapes on the windows. Now that is very cool. And then what we could do with the bottom part of the window is we'll go ahead and use the blue color. I think I have some white gel. But we can use the blue color on the bottom part of the window. But I'll have to wash this brush really good. Now, how good it'll wash out, I don't know, because obviously it's not, real good. There's not horsehair on this brush. Because, you go to Michael's and those different craft places, and you can get really nice brushes. And they're made out of a certain material. Some of them are made out of horsehair, depending on what you get. I do oil paints, and I also do acrylic crafting. And so I really have some really nice brushes. And they're made out of various, animal hair. All right. See, I told you this thing wasn't going to take that long today because we were so far ahead on it. Cool. Let me get this other window and I'll show you, and then we'll let that dry, and then we will. I'll do all the windows. We'll do them all with green. We'll go all the way around and do it, and then we'll get the blue and we'll do the bottom parts of it so there's an offshoot. Or maybe we can put some white in there. I don't know. You guys can decide what you want. I may have some red. There may be some red gel left that we can work with that I have over there. And then after we get done with this house, of course, we're going to start the vacation house. If we have time for starting tonight, otherwise we'll start it tomorrow. But we will at least get the walls up on the vacation house. There's 2 of you over on the other network. I got to watch what I say. I can't say what networks they are. TikTok has a fit. I will make you a moderator, Jennifer. I was so tired last night during our show. I took a hit from somebody during the show. I don't know who it was. All I know is there was one point where I almost fell asleep sitting up last night. Bright green, yeah. Christmas tree green, baby. I got the color at the dollar store. Had I paid more at Safeway, I could have got, all the multiple colors and all that, but I didn't do that. But it's green. So that's why down, like in the bottom part of the window, we got to put a different color in there to offset it. But I wish I would have got more colors at Safeway. We could have had yellow or something down in that bottom. Who else here tonight? I see 3 of you on at Book of Face and Tube of You. See, my chat's funny because they don't realize that I have a horrible temper, and what I can't stand are trolls, and especially if they're psychic trolls, the kind that will come in and try and take people away from your chat. That makes me crazy too. And so you will hear, even though I can't do a flurry of foul language, you will hear what sounds like close to a flurry of foul language because I just have no tolerance for that crap. We all have to start somewhere, and we all have to struggle to get to a certain point. You don't do it by stealing people's stuff either. Okay, I like this. So we're going to go around. We're going to do all the upper part of the windows. Nice. There you go, guys. I'll show you this. This is cool. Check that out. Let me do this side over here. Look at that. We now have window drapes. Look at that. See that? Let me show you guys. Look at window drapes. Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. Red would have been prettier, but theaters can't be choosers on this. What we could do, if there's enough of that red gel over there, the bottom part, where it curves up underneath the drapes, we could put red under there. That's what we could do. We could do it that way. Be nice. I still may go out tomorrow and get that Oreo cookie train. That thing was awesome. Not so much the train itself, but eating it afterwards. Did you see the giant Oreo cookies, Jennifer? They had giant Oreo cookies at Safeway, right next to the Oreo cookie train. Again, that's one of those things like my mom used to say, if it puts me in the hospital or makes me sick, it was worth it, My mom was diabetic. Yeah, we're going festive. This is a lot easier than putting little dots on it and stuff. This is a great idea. Thanks to Pamela Schmidt. That's where this idea came from. But like I said, we got to get the little 2 candy canes on, and we got to run the Christmas lights along this eave up here and all that. We'll put that bell up here. So that'll be kind of cool. I've got a male cat out in my yard who comes to the door to see my females. And I have a male cat inside who screams like little Richard. And the female is now at that thing where she's screaming to get the male cat's attention. She's due to go in to have her, to to get the clip at some point. Oh yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. Honest to God, they have. The cookie is like this big. I swear to you, I kid you not. The cookie is around this big, and I saw it wrapped up like as a gift, and it was sitting there by the Oreo cookie train at Safeway. I'm looking at that thing, and I thought, wow, when's that going to go on sale? It's all about Oreo cookies. But I'm telling you, the Oreo cookie train, I got done doing that one with you guys. I wasn't done a day after I shot video of it for you guys. I ate that sucker. In fact, we have leftover. That's why, hey, how's it going? That's why we have so many leftover gumdrops. Because I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, next year, you're always short on gumdrops on these kids. I want to eat the cookie train. I'll save the gumdrops. And that's what I did. So we have a lot of gumdrops to work with. And I ordered for DoorDash for the first time today. Never ordered DoorDash. Because my sister or my niece gave me a gift card for Subway. And so I thought, well, okay, usually I do Rising Crust pizza from either Safeway or Walmart every Sunday. For the dog and I have pizza night. And then I thought, well, if I come in here, then I'll be eating after I do this. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. I'll order it with that card and get myself DoorDash. And my DoorDash was free today. This is my first order on DoorDash. So all my food's waiting for me. It's strange when people have that attitude about the holidays. It's over, get over it. Da, da, da. I don't have that. Every day should be fun. There should be some fun in your life every day, and not just going through the days. You know what I mean? And we will be doing another gingerbread house for. I'm going to order one, and we'll be doing another gingerbread house for Valentine's Day, you guys. Hello, it's good to see everybody. Welcome. Hang out for a while. Jennifer, you still there? Right in behind this, we'll be doing the vacation holiday house. In fact, I'm going to say it now because Christmas is over. I found it at Walgreens, and Walgreens had them, and I couldn't resist. I knew you guys would love it. This one was given to me by a friend of mine that I've known for a long time. Hi, TikTok. Welcome. Help me out with the Santa hot cocoa. That would be marvelous. I have Starbucks hot cocoa sitting there. Just waiting. So we're going to make this. We're going to make nice bright green grapes. Won't take that long. We're really close on finishing this house, which is nice. And what I like about coming in this room now is it smells like Santa's workshop. If Santa's workshop had a smell, this would be it. I walk in here. Show on screen? Here. See right here where I got the drapes here? I'm working on the drapes on all the windows today. But I'll show you what we've done already. You want to see this one? You want to see the vacation house too? So we got this one going. The roof's done on that side. See, we got to do the drapes on those. See, the front's nice now. Check it out. See how nice the front is now? But I'm painting the windows right now. But I'm going to show you the vacation house, okay? Check this out, you guys. And I also found something else. So the vacation house is coming up next. After we do this one. So here's the vacation house, you guys. Found it at Walgreens. Knew you guys had to have it. Check it out. I'll get as close as I can. See it? I found out long ago. Ho, 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 ho. Holiday row. Ho, 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 ho. See that? Is that cool or what? That's the vacation house. But while I was at Safeway looking for sales, like I do after the holiday, that's what I did. There's not a Winnebago available. Yeah, that's cool, huh? There's not a Winnebago available. However, what I found at Safeway was this. And when we build this to go with the vacation house, we can trash it up, okay? This is the closest I could get for you guys. But here it is. Cousin Eddy's trailer. See that? I know it's a towing trailer, but we could do things to it to trash it up. So that'll be our cousin Eddie's trailer to go with the vacation house. So we got stuff to do. We'll get that done. I didn't start Christmas till late. I was going through a thing. For the people that know me, I went through a health thing where I was getting dizzy and stuff. I was really unhappy with things. And so until I got the first round of my Christmas lights up in my front yard, which I was a month late on, I really didn't get into Christmas until like 2 weeks ago. And that's why we're running behind like we are. But I'm happy. I'll go till February. And don't forget, we are going to be building a Valentine's house. The last one I built turned out really cute. Really cute. And for a while there, I had like 2 years worth of houses here. I had Christmas houses here. I had Valentine's house. I had one for St. Patrick's Day, and they were all over there. And then finally, the heat in here, because this room gets so hot, even especially in the summer, the heat in here broke them. All the roofs caved in. But I had them in here like all season. So I'll be heading out to Dollar Tree probably next week, and I'll be looking at candy for the Valentine's store, for the Valentine's house. All right, so I'm going to flip this way to the back one. Oh, I did that. I got to do the front door. Now this I kind of messed up in the front because I had started to put frosting on these. So these are going to look kind of funky. There's one on this side I messed up on. So I'm going to try and pick as much frosting off as I can. I just knocked these things off, so I got to put those back on. So we'll put these back on because I messed up and knocked them off, taking the frosting off. But that's okay. That'll fix. We got good frosting to work with. I'm not worried about it. Besides, that frosting wasn't all that great anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and knock all that off right now as much as I can to get the paint job in on the window without hurting anything else. Because I did mess up doing it. But it should go okay. It might look a little clumpy. There we go. I haven't even seen Christmas Vacation yet this year. I haven't watched it. I'll do it tonight. When I'm having my Subway sandwich, I will do it tonight. All right, let me paint this. It's going to be a little lumpy because, like I said, I have already put the white frosting on there. In fact, you know what I need to do? Hang on. It is so dark under these lights. Where'd you go, Rita? It gets so dark in here. Once those lights are up. Oh, there we go. You can't see nothing. There we go. This is why I have to have this for the show. All right, let me get this painted on this side. I don't mean to blind you guys. I'm going to try and do it at an angle where I don't blind you guys. Because this thing is super bright. So I don't want to blind everybody. So I'm going to wash this today during the show. I should have bought 2 of these. So we can do the blue for the blue undercoat on here. I can never color with my crayons either. But I'm an artist. I'm very creative. Went out with a guy that knew a lot about wiring. And so I would wire my own train sets. I built a Victorian dollhouse that I completely wired. Same color as the holly berries. Perfect. But I've done a lot of wiring. When I went to go to college, I waited to go to college. I didn't feel like going to college. I wasn't a school person. Once I got out of high school, I was done. It was just one of those things. I was bored out of my mind. And most creative people, when they're in high school, unless they're taking shop classes and stuff, they're bored out of their minds. And I was bored out of my mind. So when I left. I just walked away. So I didn't go to college until 10 years after high school. See if I can get this thing and cover this white up here. You're listening to North and so I didn't know. I went through that period, like a year of gap for 10 years. And didn't know what I wanted to do. And so my niece, who knows me very well, picked my classes. And she picked really cool stuff like radio engineering, recording studio engineering, things like that. And that's how I learned to deal with sound. So that's why I have that podcast set up like I do. And so I took engineering classes. I didn't get a degree, but I took almost all of them. And then there wasn't any English classes because I was focusing on. I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, let's go try stage lighting. So I took stage lighting, and I was taking photography at the same time. Stage lighting and photography, and then I started to take various stage classes, like stagecraft. I took 3 years of stagecraft, and I learned to build sets. So when things break here, like my door jams, I know how to fix it all. I can fix my door jams. And I know how to do it. You know, stagecraft with the stuff you build is just like building normally. The only difference with it is that it has to be materials that will break down easy. Because it's, you know, it's all meant to be built and then taken down. I mean, that's the whole point of it. That's why you build a set. You know, like French doors. You're not going to build French doors on a movie set that are going to last forever. You're going to build French doors on a movie set that you're going to be able to take down. Balsam wood, all kinds of stuff like that, right? So I learned to build with that. But the whole thing is I still have the stagecraft book. If a window sill breaks in this house, I am able to go through and fix it. I just, instead of using like balsam wood, I use the thicker wood, just like you would in construction. That's the only difference. And so I learned how to do that. I learned how to stucco walls. I learned how to do all that stuff in stagecraft. I've taken a shop class, right? And I enjoyed it because I was really leaning, what I really wanted to do, what I realized I wanted to do halfway through college was I wanted to go into work for the movie industry. And you'd be surprised what I chose. Not building sets. I wanted to do sound. I wanted to be one of those guys. I forget what you call them. There's a name for them. I want to be one of those persons that made the sound of the guns, that made the sound of the of people walking. Foley. I wanted to go into Foley. Really bad. I want to be a Foley artist. And then what happened is when I went to college, I started late, like everything else I do, and there were no English classes, and I knew I had to have some kind of college writing under my belt. So there was a journalism class open. So I did that, and the rest, as they say, is history. I spent my time, learning all that. Ended up working at some really nice newspapers. Became an editor at a daily newspaper. I've been an editor at almost every newspaper I worked except one. I was editor for the online AOL news, those AOL newspapers. I was the editor of one of those. So I've had an interesting career. I've done a lot of stuff. But my first love is, and this is what fit TikTok in so well, and my first love is shooting videos, doing travel videos. In fact, the first thing I did out of college we used to have a show called California Adventures before Disney built their park. And we used to travel to different places, go skiing, go snowboarding, the Napa Valley wine train, things like that. We used to travel and go to these different places. It was really fun. We had our own travel show. And so that got me closer to this. And then as a journalist, getting the opportunity to film for my paranormal team. I had cameras and everything and all that. We were doing that before, just as Ghost Hunters was starting up. We were starting up filming my paranormal team. I love building sets. And so I was filming. I was doing Ghost Hunter stuff when Ghost Hunters came out. So we were ready. We had a show on public access that we were producing, a weekly show for an hour of ghost hunting every week. So I was doing that, and then everything started to fall into place, because the newspaper I worked for wanted to do live newscasts from either the newspaper itself or studio. So I started getting into filming live newscasts for them with my cameras because I had the equipment, right, the proper equipment. Started doing that, and then when I had the opportunity for Tube of You, started my own talk show, paranormal talk show, which I want to get back going to. I missed it. Interviewed a bunch of really cool people. And then that sank. And what happened was that I was heartbroken. I spent 7 years building that up over there. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, TikTok, don't zap me. And I got to the point where I got the necessary followers, applied, and they denied me. And I was just gut shot. Absolutely gut shot. So in the meantime, I discovered a bunch of my buddies over at Disneyland. I wish I would have gone to that sooner. And what was going on TikTok, that whole TikTok wave at Disneyland. And I started to watch them, started to buy equipment. I thought, okay, I can do that. So I made a trip to Disneyland with a friend of mine after a friend of mine died. And it was like a memorial trip we took. And because she loved Disney. And I went live from Disney. The first time I ever went live with TikTok. And Scuba View. Went live from Disneyland. Loved it. Came back and didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I had no money and lost my internet. Everything had gone wrong. Didn't know what I was going to do. And then my friend said, well, you know, you're really good medium. And I said, well, yeah, but I don't want to just use it for stuff, you know, different weird things. And so she's the one that suggested I do readings. And that's where it came from. I started to do readings in my car because I had no internet here. And it took off from there. And here we are a year and a half later. And I have a business plan worked out for my staff. You know, this is not only about psychic readings. This is about ghost hunting, you know, everything, and teaching people how to ghost hunt properly and stuff. So here we are, you know, and it all worked out. I mean, the classes I took in college all came to this fruition because I knew how to build a home recording studio. I knew how to do all that, you know. So here, I'll turn it in a second, you guys. It helped. Everything I did, all the studio lighting classes, all that paid off that I took to do TikTok. But yeah, I can repair things at my house. It's kind of fun. I love stagecraft. I also took what I didn't like was which was part of my thing for stagecraft is I had to go to one play a month and I had to critique it. And here's this thing. I have a thing about that. I have a thing about taking somebody's hard work and ripping it apart. My ghost hunting team in California, we have 45 people up and down the state. And they're all in different spaces. They're all in different counties. So if there is a emergency somewhere where we have to ghost hunt, the people from the NorCal location don't have to drive to Southern California because I've got people in Southern California that can handle it, or the Bay Area. I have a team in the Bay Area. Now I might go because I'm the boss, but other than that, there's always a supervisor out. You know, I've always got a supervisor on staff. Not to mention, I do have people in Nevada. I have people in Oregon. There's team members in Washington State, Hawaii, and some people back east as well. It's a big team. All in all, probably about 150 people on my team. All from varying backgrounds. It's taken years to get the right backgrounds. I have psychologists on my staff. I've got doctors. I've got doctors and nurses, former police officers on staff. And why? Because sometimes you have to be really careful when you're out ghost hunting. You know, you're talking to people because sometimes it isn't ghosts, you guys. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is mental. So you have to be really careful with people. It could be a medication. Maybe they were just switched onto some medication and they're hallucinating. You have to be super careful, especially not so much, you know, when you're going into like a hotel. That's a different ballgame. But when you're doing somebody's house, you have a responsibility to make sure you don't misdiagnose the situation. And that's why I have, you know, the staff that I have, like nurses and, you know, people that can tell if somebody might be having mental issues. First thing we ask is, what medications are you on? That's one of the things we ask. Because we did this house up in the Bay Area, and there was this older woman, and she was seeing things. And older people do see things. The closer they get to the end, they see things. But come to find out, they had just switched some medication on her, and this medication would make her hallucinate. So we were able to figure out what was going on, and she never had another problem. So you have to watch out for that kind of stuff when you're out. That's why I have built up the staff that I have. Just like some of my psychics, some of my people, some are better with children than others. So when we go out to an investigation and I see all those kids here, or there's something else going on with kids, or you know what I mean, I can kind of I can mix and match who goes out. on the investigation, because you don't want somebody that doesn't get along with kids. So I can mix and match. I also have people. Well, my uncle is gone now, but my brother-in-law is a contractor, and I have a couple people on my staff who are contractors. Because you're also looking at electrical stuff in buildings, you're looking at a lot of things. One person on my staff is retired. He used to work on air conditioning systems and the older furnaces and stuff, so he knows how all those lines run, which is huge help. So I have a lot of that going on. So I try to make sure, and it took years. It took years to build this staff up, to get to this point where we're at. But we have a real comprehensive staff. Do we have debunkers? Of course we do. Just like any other team, we have debunkers. We have our psychics, our mediums. We have people that debunk. All that stuff. We're looking for logical. First, we look for logical explanations. If we can't find the logical explanations, then we start looking at paranormal side of it. Yeah, people can hallucinate. Yeah, I tried. That's what I built. I worked hard at getting that diversity on my team, and I think it works out really well, especially when we're in the field and we're dealing with people. People are very impressed with what we have. We do have a shaman, and she handles a lot of our heavier cases. Anything that might be demonic or anything like that, the shaman handles. And then you get to a point where it's a case that not even the shaman can do. So then you have to have somebody in the clergy to help you out. And I have a couple friends. Bishop James Long's one of them. From the clergy that can do exorcisms and stuff like that. So you have to be diverse. Stephanie, who's on our team, sharp. She's had mental health training and all that, and she really helps people. When we're out in the field. But you got to look for all that. What did I do? All the windows? I did. They're all done. Look at that. All the side windows are done. So what I have to do is I need to go make blue now. I'm going to have to. I can use that lid, but I'm going to have to clean my brush really good. So I'm going to have to go to the other room and do a good clean out on the brush so we can do the blue part. In the meantime, here's what we're going to do. Do you guys think that we should get those Christmas trees ready? These Christmas trees that come in the other box that I got. Should we do the massive demon clearings? Yes. And I have noticed that, and I'm going to say this from my perspective. For a while there, you could say that demon sightings were few and far between, for a long time. And now they've really picked up to where there's a lot more demons that people are seeing and stuff. And I just think it's the way society. I've been pushed. I've been pushed. I've been shoved downstairs. I've had stuff follow me home. Oh, let me get a little dab right there. So I could paint those little trees green. If you guys think before I put the green away, I could paint the little trees green. And I'm gonna have to get this thing washed in order to make the blue stuff for it. But that's cool. That went fast. And what we can do, like I said, I have those extra spongy things. I hate them. You know what I'm talking about, little spongy candy. I can put those like in between these windows too when we get done, so there's more decoration on these sides. I'm not a fan of those, so I'm one of those people that if I'm not a fan, I'm not going to remember the name. Yeah. So what do you think? Here's my question with the windows. Now that we've done this, I have blue food coloring, okay? I'm going to take a look in the old box and see if I can make red. And we can put red on the windows on the bottom, okay? Let me see. If not, we'll try it with the blue. Let's see what I got in here. Again, I keep things from the last time I did this. Because that's just how I ride. Let me see what I got here because I don't remember. And again, hindsight, maybe should have gone the Safeway to get like multicolored stuff. Has this been opened? This has not been opened. Guess what? We got red. So, for the sashes on the windows. Okay. So for the sashes on the windows, you guys, should we put red below that green, or should we do white or something? What do you think? I do have white. Oh, there's green in here over here. So should we put white or should we put red? What do you guys think? Or blue? I can hear you, yeah. Oh, the video's not working? Is the video working? Let me go look. The video's not working? I can see you fine. Is the video not working? I hate this. All right, let me see for a second, okay? Let me see. I can't tell because I can't get off TikTok. I might lose you, okay? Let me go see if the video's working. See if we have visual. Hang on. Let me go see. Let me pop over to Book of Face. That was figure. Okay, let me see. It showed me live. I'm seeing. Let me look. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna have to refresh. Okay. TikTok, I might lose you. Okay. Let me go see if the video's working. Okay, yeah, I see it. Let me refresh. Okay. I want to refresh. Let me pop over to Book of Face. Let it refresh. Just hang on. That was figure. Okay, yeah, I see it. Let me refresh, okay? So let me try and refresh over here. Well, that's going to bite. Not the first time it said it to me. Let me get back up here and see if we can refresh. Blue screen. Blue screen of death. Hang on, guys. What is going on over here? Hang on, everybody. See if we can't get this up. There it is. We're back. Okay, we're back. All right, we're back. Let me get back up here and see if we can refresh. Let me make sure it's me. I'm going to wave. Make sure it's me. Blue screen of death. Hang on, guys. Okay, we're back, you guys. Hang on, everybody. I think we're back. See if we can't get this up. There it is. We're back. Yeah, we got it. All right, I'm going to try and get back on TikTok. Hopefully we didn't lose TikTok. I may have to restart TikTok. Hang on. I need 3 phones for this project. Obviously, I'm not on TikTok. So, guys, I'm going to go back live on TikTok. I lost my TikTok, but they'll come back. There we go. We're back. Okay, so we're back. But I lost my ability to. Oh, no live. Here we go. Let me go live again. Okay, so let me see what you think. Yeah, resume the live. TikTok thinks it's their fault, so that's a good sign. Okay. Okay. We are making a gingerbread house. In fact, we're finishing it up, and then we're going to make another gingerbread house. Right behind it, but it's a special gingerbread house. My goal ended? What's he talking about? Okay, I got to set my goal, you guys. It ended. So let me get a goal over there. Like anything else could go wrong, right? Goal ended. Okay. I've never had one run out before like that. Hang on. Yeah, there's houses. This house has been haunted since I've been here. We know at least who or what one of the ghosts is. Let me get a goal up here, you guys. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay. All right, let's go with 10 of those. This is why guys have like 3 phones. They're very hard to clear depending on what's in there. We give people the option if it's something like, if we determine it's something like an uncle or a grandma or something, we'll ask the client, are you comfortable with your family member here? There we go. Are you comfortable with your family member here? I'm collecting 10 Santa Cocos, guys. If you can help me out with that, that'd be great. I'll sing you a collection song. So it just depends what's there. And sometimes we'll give the option. If it's something really bad, it's really difficult to get certain things out. So check that out, Jennifer. So what do you think, guys? Should we go with, now that I did this, I have color options. So there's that, okay? Should we go with red in the in between part on the drapes. We could go with white. We could go with blue. So what do you guys think? Should it be red or blue or white for the bottom part of those drapes? Fairy entities, we can do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what do you guys think? Should we go red on those? I guess we'll go red. So for right now, let's do this. We're going to have to, I'm going to leave the green stuff out because we're going to go back to that for those little trees. I'm going to have to run in the bathroom real quick. White? Okay. I'm going to wash this out. Okay. I have to wash this to paint that in. So let me be right back. I have to head to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I shall return. We'll get this out. And lesson learned to buy more paintbrushes. I'll be right back, guys. You can even hear me back here. Can you hear me now?
iHeartRadio's North Pole Radio.
Just want you for my home, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. You know that all I want for Christmas is you.
I think you got it. Okay. We're good.
Won't ask for much this Christmas.
Okay, we'll do white. I agree. White sounds good.
I'm just gonna keep on waiting.
Okay, we're back. Just know, you guys, if there is some kind of timeout during the show where it's going to reset itself, and you guys will be coming back on because I've seen it do it a couple times. Okay, here we go. All right, we're back. They're settling in. You guys want to hear a story about some fairies? I got three things that involve fairies. You guys want to hear about fairies? If you guys want to hear about fairy folks, I'll share some. There's no list today, Nikki. We're just doing a gingerbread house tonight. Sunday's my night off from readings. I have to rest my brain. Regular programming, yeah. Regular programming. Well, we'll continue tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. When we talk about paranormal stuff, we talk about that. I've had a couple. I see fairies in my house, and I know they are either fairies or angels because. Oh, this brush is trash now. See if I can get this brush in decent shape. I know they're fairies or angels because they're flashes of light that I see. And there we go. And I've seen them before in investigations. We talked about that one. I think that one that I talked about that night with the Native Americans, that brought stuff into my house. That was scary. Wow, that icing got thick. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. See if this one will work better for us for this project, for this part. Or not, because it's stiff. Okay, we won't do that then. Fine. I want to liquefy a little bit. Let me just mix this a little bit. So that one we talked about, I talked about it on TikTok the other night. About the, see if I can just get some mix going here. Hang on. See if that helps. Those were flashing. You could actually see them up in the attic because they were flashing. Now, whether they were angels. Oh, okay, the bathroom break. Sorry. I'm a bear with very little brain. The ones that were flashing, I had a debate with my psychic whether they were angels or what they were. But I think they were fairies because I've seen them in this house. And it was just flashes of light. They show up as flashes of light. And that happened during that investigation involving the Native American family. And That was pretty cool, because they came in right away and we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff in the attic of the house that we could actually visually see. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Oh, here we go. All right, now we're back. So that was an interesting experience, to deal with that. I've seen them, like I said, I've seen them here. I actually heard some. We were on this investigation in Rockland out here, and there was an autistic kid living in the house, and autistic kids, hang on, here comes the puzzle on TikTok. Like, I can't move fast enough to keep everybody happy. Hang on. TikTok, how long have I been on, dude? I mean, come on. Give me a break, TikTok. There we go. Oh, I missed it too. Gotta do it all over again. You dirty rat. If I don't hit that sucker just right, and this phone is very. Oh, dang it! That's twice. I'm gonna have to pick it up because I can't do it from here. This phone is very sensitive to the touch. If you say no, no, you didn't. Okay. Tap that screen, guys. See how many likes we can get. Come on, TikTok, show me some love. Again, it's interesting when you talk about fairies. So that's what I've seen in my own house. I've seen them as a white flashing lights. I saw them as white flashing lights, like kind of like stars, just doing this, up in that attic. Now this other house, again, autistic kids, autistic children, tend to draw fairies and tend to see more than we do. They're very sensitive to the other world. And in this case, the autistic son was seeing the fairies. But the thing is that the voices were coming from underneath the house. And we were trying to figure that out. Why were they coming from underneath the house? And we could actually hear, because the fairies would move the furniture around the house. So while we were while we were investigating, you could hear them moving the furniture around in the bedrooms. And we would go in there and the furniture would be moved. Then we'd move it back, furniture would be moved again. And it turns out that, I guess when they built the house, whoever the contractor was, built the house over a fairy village, not knowing it. And the fairies were not very happy about it. But they liked the little boy. So the best part of this, and this is what happens. You go out with the best equipment, digital voice recorders, and you can have as many of those as you want. You can have as many video cameras, going as you want, and you're not going to pick it up no matter what you do. You can have five voice recorders going at the same time, and you're not going to pick up the audio. And in this case, while we were sitting in the living room that night, this is like 2 a.m, we could hear the fairies talking to us. We could hear the whispers. We could hear them talking. And we were all going, wow, you hear that, around the room. And sure enough, when we went to play it back on the digital voice recorders and on the cameras, it didn't pick the voices up. But you could hear the voices coming in. And they were trying to communicate with us. And that's how we found out that they were upset because this house, 10 or 15 years ago when it was built, had been built over their village, and they were upset. So then you get to that position where you have to calm everything down, see if you can work with the fairies and say, look, this family lives here now. They're willing to share the house with you. No one wants to fight over the house or anything like that. If you're willing to share the house, they're willing to share the house, with you and be here, and you can live together in this house. And that's what ended up happening. We were able to negotiate an agreement with the fairy folk so that they wouldn't stop the mischief, so that they would stop being so mischievous with the family. But it took hours. It took hours to get the negotiation done because some of them weren't very happy, with the fact that they had to share that property of that house with this family. But again, like I said, eventually, they saw the ways. So, like I said, every time I've been involved with fairy folk, it's always been bright, flashy lights, and that's the only time I've ever heard them talking. In fact, when they told me it was fairies, this is how I am. When I was told that we were dealing with fairies, I laughed. I laughed at my psychic and I went, you expect me to go out here and deal with like fairies and tell me that they're there, but then hearing of and hearing all the furniture moving and everything that was going on in the house made me a believer, to where I wasn't so sarcastic. But when they initially told me that, hey, there's fairies here, I just went, okay, whatever. Hey, Scorpio. So it's been an experience. I've only had like three cases that involve fairy folk. Yeah, I mean, it was really easy to talk to them because they talk like us. So you can have a conversation with them. To have that conversation, you could actually talk to them, which was nice. And again, it surprised me even to be able to just literally talk to them. Because that was my thought, and I thought, well, it'll probably have to be the psychic team that communicates with them. That's how it's going to go. But as it turned out, they were willing to talk, to have a conversation. Now, demons are interesting because I'm going to let that dry to add a little more on it to make it more solid. Demons are more interesting because demons aren't the same level. It's like anything else. You got the heavy duty demons, and then there's like 12 level of demons. And you might have a lower level of demon that you're dealing with. I did that with one case I handled out here off of Fruit Ridge Road that there was a lower level demon. And those demons aren't the ones that possess you. Those are the ones that can just wreak havoc in your life. They're the ones that will topple things over, make your moods go bad, that kind of thing. So it's not like they can possess you, but it's bad enough because his family was plagued by this one demon that wouldn't go away. A lot of bad things happened in the house. This was a house where there had been some unaliving going on. There had been a drug house at one time. And so there'd been, shootings in this house and stuff. The neighborhood was horrible. And the client's son, who happens to be a friend of mine, because she's a close friend of mine, the gal, he had unalived himself by accident with a gun. And so that energy was in the house. So you had all that energy going around. It was really a hard job to do. In fact, we cleared the house, and then we ran stuff around to keep people from coming into the house, and or the negatives coming in the house. And then I came home and was working on EVP and stuff. And while I was working on EVP, by the way, I gotta look at this. Hang on. Oh, the bruise went away. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it is. The dog got me and bruised me. And then while I was working on EVP, I got 3 scratches down both my arms, where this thing had followed me home. Which I was not happy about. But my neighbors are funny because they're used to me ghost hunting. And what makes it funny is that they will see me like late at night and stuff after I do a ghost hunt or 2 days after when I'm working on evidence review. They'll see me open all the windows and doors and I'm yelling at stuff to get out of my house. And so they'll laugh and say, oh, you brought something home, did you? It's like a running joke in the neighborhood. But you got to chase them out. You can't have any negatives come home with you. But demons are tricky. Then you have to get to a situation where you get to the point where you're in over your head and you have to call clergy. Like even with our shaman. I mean, she knows when she has to call clergy. She knows when she has to call it quits and move on. Because it can get overwhelming. This one house we did, again, another one out in Rockland. I don't know what it is with Rockland. In the town of Rockland, this house we did. What's terrible is when you go out, you interview a client, and they don't tell you everything. Yeah, they'll cling to you. And the problem with that too is that you may not get affected right away. They will lie in wait. And then one day, 10 years, 15 years down the line, something bad happens and you don't know why it happened. And it's because they have stayed with you and they were waiting for an opportune time to strike. That's one thing that they'll do. So in this house, you get clients sometimes when you go out that they want to test you and they want to test your psychics. And that's not right. Because, in order to do a good job when you're out in the field, you want to make sure that you get all the facts. And if you can't get all the facts, you can't help people. People have to be honest with you. And 8 times out of 9, 8 times out of 10, they are honest. But you get that last 2, that percentage of 2 where they're not honest. And in this case, they weren't very honest. Oh, it dried. Good, I need to do that. I need to scrape it. Because what happened is we get out on this investigation. And we're putting our equipment out and stuff. Perfect. And we're noticing that our equipment's getting thrown on the ground. We're hearing noises in the rooms like furniture being thrown around. Things like this. Now, here's a rule. Here's a rule. As a ghost hunter, a ghost can lift, like Uncle Bob, your mom, your dad, whatever. A ghost can lift up to about 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. Anything beyond that takes tremendous energy to do. For that lifting action, takes tremendous energy. So you're dealing with something that's not of this world. I mean, that's the tip off right there that you stepped into a big case like that. Because the regular ghost is not going to be able to lift that much weight. And so that's a question we're always asking people is, okay, is there stuff being moved around your house? And if there is, what exactly is being moved around the house? And people need to be honest with us. In this case, they weren't honest with us. I had my team out there. We're doing the investigation. And like I said, all of a sudden you can hear the furniture being thrown around. And I'm talking like chairs and couches. And they're grabbing our equipment off the tables. They're throwing that around. So I knew we had walked into something that was over our head. I knew it. And so I called the team out and I'm like, okay, I'm on the phone with like 2 psychics. I looked like the president. I had 3 phones going, trying to figure out what we were dealing with. And the one psychic comes back and she says, you guys need to get out of the house. And I said, what are you talking about? She says, I just picked up on this entity. It doesn't have a face. Rule number 4. If an entity doesn't have a face, it was never of this earth to begin with. Okay? That's a bad sign. And right then and there, coupled with the furniture being thrown around, I ordered the team out. I said, we're in over our heads. We're getting out. We're done. And so the client pulls up in the driveway. We're packing up. They're upset because, how come you guys are leaving? Blah, 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 blah. And so I told them flat out. I said, look, you lied to us. There's more going on here than what you told me is going on. And he finally looks at me and he goes, yeah, he says, what I didn't tell you, I was testing to see if you guys would pick up on it. This is the stuff that irritates me. See if you guys would pick up on it. He says, my wife was doing laundry in our laundry room. And something pulled the door off the dryer and yanked it completely off the hinges and threw it 25 feet. 25 feet. And he yanked it off the hinges. Yeah, I've seen Ghostbusters, Nicole. So whatever this was we were dealing with could yank a closed dryer door off its hinges and throw it 25 feet. And then he proceeds to tell us, the other thing we didn't tell you is that there's like a dark little animal that runs across the carpets all the time that we see. So I just went, you know what, we're going to call our shaman out and take it from there. I said, you weren't totally honest with us. We are not going to deal with this.
This is North Pole Radio.
Yeah, 25 feet. And I said, you know, you weren't honest with us. I'm sorry, but we're just not gonna we're not gonna play that game with you because what you've done there is a white guy. See it? See white under the windows? TikTok. Looks nice. I could put something in the window too. But anyway, yeah. So we turned that over to the shaman, and the shaman handled that one. And then I had another one out further close to like Williams, out nowhere, and that woman was living alone on her property. Animals were dying on the property. All kinds of stuff going on, and she definitely had a demon out there. In fact, I have a famous EVP where my team goes in. There we go. And we're asking our questions, and we weren't there 5 minutes. Okay, but no sooner got in, I go walking in first, and I see this thing go running down the hallway. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we can do that with blue on the side. Let me do the front windows, and then we'll do blue on the side. Okay. Let me get these out on the front. Then we'll switch it over to blue on the side. So I go walking in first, and I see this thing. Here's the deal. When we go out to do the prelim, I had a new psychic that was coming on board. Okay. We go out. We're doing the walk around through the house. We get in the garage, and she stops, and she says, "I'm not going out. I'm not going to stay here." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she kept picking at me, grabbing my arm, going, "Don't you see it? Don't you see it? Don't you see it?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I don't understand what you're talking about." Yeah. Okay. And I went, "I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about." And she said, "You're not seeing it." And I said, "No, I'm not seeing what?" She says, "It's over there. It's standing over there. It looks like a penguin. It's about 4 feet high." She says, "And it's got these red glaring eyes. It's staring at me, and it's not happy." It scared her enough that she went and got her car and never came back. I finished off the prelim, went over to talk to this woman, did my little interview, came home, set up my team, told the shaman she probably had to come out to help us on this one because of that. And so we go up. The woman had gone shopping to buy us munchies and stuff, which, makes for a party atmosphere, which I don't particularly like during an investigation, but you do what you do. And I'm the first one in the house. I get through the door. I see the shadow of this thing running down the hallway. It's taken off down the hallway to the master bedroom. And again, it's only 4 feet tall, like the psychic described. So I told everybody, I said, "Okay, let's get your equipment set up." My mother was with me, so I wanted to make sure that she was protected. I had her in the living room with me. I put salt around her and other stuff, so nothing would bother her. And I'm glad I did. So we decided to go do, I said, it's in the bedroom. Let me go do an EVP session in the bedroom, okay? We get in the master bedroom, standing there doing our session, and I play it back. And something told me to play the tape back. I usually don't do that when I'm investigating, but I did this time. And their voice came on. And I think it was two angels talking. Because what the voice said was it was warning the Archangel Gabriel. Yeah, it was warning the Archangel Gabriel to watch out. And I still have that voice on recorder. So I'm thinking there were angels there, and that angel was warning that angel, because you could hear it, "Gabriel, watch out." And at that point, I get out of the bedroom, and I'm like, okay, we're dealing with something demonic. In the meantime, my crew's putting out the cameras and stuff, and it's throwing the cameras on the floor, it's throwing the paperwork on the floor. Anything I get a hold of, it's throwing on the floor. So the shaman arrives, and she's walking around. In the meantime, they're doing their investigation. Trish, our psychic, was there. She goes in the garage. Her son was sitting in the living room with me. Her son, very psychic too. And she got freaked out because she told me that while she was in that garage, She smelled vomit. She distinctly smelled vomit in that garage. And not only that, it was speaking in her son's voice, trying to lure her into a dark corner of the garage. And her son was in the living room with me.
This is North Pole Radio.
So the shaman comes out. She starts to do her thing. And here's something I don't share very often with my chat. My grandmother, on my mom's side, Mexican, was a curandero. And those are medicine women over in Mexico. That's what she did in Mexico. And my mother's listening to the shaman do her thing, do the ritual. And my mother looked at me and said, "Oh my God, it sounds like my mama." That was incredible to hear from my mom. Oh my God, she sounds like my mama. But it got so bad, the shaman goes outside to fight the thing. I'm inside keeping away from my mother. The other investigators are trying to deal with it. They're not happy because we're dealing with this thing. And she comes in and she says, I'm not going to say who the shaman is. But she comes in and says, I need to get some underwear. She says, I was out there working it, and I ended up soiling myself, which is something they will make you do. So we finally ended up, the shaman did her thing, and it didn't really leave. It went into hiding. So we finally ended up calling out the church to bring some clergy in to take care of it. All that way. But that stuff can happen, and I had my 80-year-old mother with me. I was trying to protect her and keep it away from her. But I think that's what scared me the most was the angel. When whatever that was, whether it was an angel or whatever, started to tell Gabriel to be careful. The Archangel Gabriel. That night. But that's the risk you take on it. That's why these teams that, you look at teams that are, and here's the other thing, a good warning to look out for. If you see a lot of paranormal teams out there that all they talk about is the work they do with demonics, there's a demon here. Every place they go, there's a demon. Get away from that team because they're just doing that to sensationalize the cases. There's demons out there, but you're not going to run into them on every case. So if you see a team out there that is claiming to run into a demon on every case, that's bad news. You got to stay away from them because it's not like that. The demonic cases, the TV shows would lead you to think that demonic cases are a lot, but they're still, yes, they've gone up a bit, but they're still few and far between. If you get one. All right, so the front's done there. I'm going to go ahead while we're over here and put these things that fell off back on and make sure they're on before I move over there. Move on the side. But I've been through a lot. And I think talking about that one case with the Native Americans, that I drew something in because I just, the next day I could not wake up and function. That's a psychic attack that I was under. Yeah, let me get in here and do this. Get this on so we don't fall off. I've done over 400 cases. Some were commercial, some were commercial jobs, private residences, everything you can think of. And I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've seen a lot. I've even done a case where it involved a banshee. Still a little lower. There we go. You even had a banshee. And that was more local case that we did. My associates, which I didn't go out because there was a period where I didn't go out because I was taking care of my mom. But my associates went on a case a few blocks away from where I live, where a little girl actually did the spider walk like in The Exorcist. This thing was possessing her. We had to call out the church. But she actually did the spider walk and scared the investigator that went out. He's a tough guy. Scared him to death. For a while there, I didn't think he was going to go back out, in any cases. It just absolutely petrified him. Damn, that looks good. I'll show you. Check it out, you guys. Then I'll do the side windows. Look at that. Doesn't that look good on the front? Look at that front door. See that front area? Look how good that looks. All right, Jennifer. All right, let's make some blue paint, shall we? Let's do some blue paint. I want to use the lid of this. So we'll make some blue. Let's see what we can do here. Probably going to be nice to eat blue, I'm sure. Just think, someone has to eat what's left over on this. Hello, dessert. I have files and files. I have like 8 filing cabinets full of cases that we've done. Here we go. 8 filing cabinets worth. Pretty incredible stuff.
You're listening to North Pole Radio.
I keep them because I can go back and check stuff, A banshee is, it's like a ghost. It's just like a demon. Only a banshee is more of a lower level demon. And they're the women that have no face. They tend to scream. They're like witches in a lot of ways. And they tend to scream a lot. Good example of that is, I don't know if you ever watched The Warrior Princess. They actually have them featured in a segment from Great Britain because that's a British thing. Some of those. But they've got long hair. Their faces are generally white, and they will scream at you to get your attention. They like to steal your soul. Okay, we're getting some blue in here. But yeah, it's interesting when you get with folklore. Just like I've also seen like down in the mines doing cases up in the gold country, Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers are these little dwarves. They came over with the Dutch miners, and they're these little dwarves that are down in mines, and they're the ones supposedly that alert the miners when there's going to be a mine collapse. And if you hear the knocking sound, and that's what they mean by the Tommy knockers. If you hear if you hear that knocking sound, that means that something's going to collapse. It's the wood making noises in the mines, and so they've attributed it to Tommy knockers. Had a case where these people were living in this house over a mine area, lots of mine areas over there, in that area, and they would see this little man walking through their house, dressed in coveralls. And they would see him walk through their house. Well, with those, for the most part, what you do with those is you make peace with them. You leave food out for them because they love to eat. Tommy knockers love eating. And they're very mischievous. They like to play tricks on people. They're not scary. They don't attack people or anything like that. They're just there. But they look like little men with beards, just like you would think the 7 dwarves and all that. They're small like the 7 dwarves. They're real tiny, maybe 2.5 feet tall. He must have been around probably 3 feet or so because they wouldn't see him totally. What they would see is they would see the top of his head as he was walking around their dining table. Right. So we did the Tommy Knocker case. I've seen them a couple of times. You know, I've done cases with them a couple of times up in the Gold Country. So much stuff out there that people don't know about. All right, let's do some blue here. I just find it to be a fascinating hobby. You know, to be a ghost hunter, you learn so much about history, and it's cool history. That's what makes it fun. These older hotels, I mean, they're so beautiful, and you get access to them. Brookdale Lodge, places like that. We've done the Brookdale Lodge a couple of times. But it's always beautiful to go into these hotels because they're just so wonderful looking inside. You know, there was one in particular that the lady collected fine china. And it's this hotel, she had this one room completely, you know, encased with fine china. She put all the fine china in the dining room of the hotel, which was really cool. But you see all that stuff, the Gold Country, so many stories about the California Gold Country, and you run into those. I mean, you're going to run into miners, you're going to run into all kinds of stuff when you're out there. General Grant, Murphy's Hotel, up in Murphy's, California. If you look at the guest register, General Grant, before he became president, stayed there. And they actually have the suite that he stayed in, and they have kept it as it looked the day he stayed in it. So they have it glassed off. You can actually pay to stay in the suite that General Grant stayed in at the Murphy's Hotel. But there's a lot of ghosts in that hotel. Lots. People for, you know, former employees even. Miners because there was a, you know, big cholera epidemic. And the miners, you know, a lot of them died from cholera. There is the blue, see it? There's the blue. We got blue on the side. And blue on this other side. But there was a huge cholera epidemic. And so some miners died from that. There's even the story of this one miner in this other hotel who kept his dynamite in the hotel with him. So when he was sleeping at night, he would have the dynamite under his bed. And the funny thing, when he passed away, it wasn't because the bed exploded. It was just because he got sick from cholera. But that's where he kept his he wanted to make sure nobody got to his dynamite. Okay. You turn it that way, you guys can see. Which is cool, you know. All kinds of weird stories like that. Or a mine might have collapsed, or, you know, something like that. A lot of sad stories. You know, you've always got the one room where the woman cries in the mirror. And every hotel you go to, there's always one room where there's a crying woman. Because there's always the story of the lover going out to the mines and not returning. Dynamite on your bed, yeah. And he didn't like women in his room. So, of course, we had to stay in that room. He had a reputation like women would put women, you'll take your toiletries out and put them on the counters and things like that. Well, women would go out to have dinner and they'd come back and all the toiletries were on the floor because he would go through and he'd knock them all off the counters. He didn't want women's toiletries in his room. The night that we stayed the night there, when I sleep like a log. Nothing's going to wake me up. And that particular night, because I had driven up there, I was sleeping really heavy. My friend sleeps really light. And so they had on the windows, there we go. That looks really good. That looks really nice. Good idea. Now I'm going to do something on the back because the back bugs me. All right, there it is on the side. So we got chat back up. There's the timeout. It has a timeout. That was a timeout. So we stayed in that guy's room, you know, where he slept with the dynamite. My friend and I. So there's the blue windows right there, guys. See ya? So we got the green and blue windows. So that's really cool. So what we could do is I have some square gumdrops. So we can put some square gumdrops like in between the windows, give them a little more decoration. So we'll go ahead and do the square gumdrops. Give them some decoration on there. So anyway, during the night they had those kind of window shades that you pull down. You know, the ones that you pull down with the string. And during the night, and I didn't hear this. Yeah, it's because it had Restream has a timeout, just like TikTok does. There's a timeout, so it timed us out and brought us back in. So anyway, my friend's sleeping. I'm sleeping. I didn't hear it. Okay, I told her if anything happens, you know, let it happen while we're here overnight. In fact, before I went to bed, I said, "Prove that you're here," and I fell asleep. Anyway, so much to my friend's dismay. So anyway, so during the night, when I woke up in the morning, she said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this." She said, "But during the night, that lampshade got messed up, and something had pulled the lampshade off during the night. Not only pulled it down, but yanked it off the wall. So I guess he didn't like my challenge, but he pulled the lampshade completely off. And I went to the hotel and I said, "Look, I didn't do that. I'm sorry." She said, "No, that's happened before in that room." I love these things when they get done. They're so fun. Let's grab. I have an idea here. Let's do some of this. Where'd they go? I know they're in here. There they are. See, I got some square ones from the. I thought I had more square ones. It might be in there. From the Oreo cookie tray bowl. So we're going to add some square ones in between the windows. You see in this one. But that happened when we stayed overnight in that hotel. That was kind of frightening. Did they end up in here or did they end up in one of these? Ah, there's some. Oh, that's regular gumdrops. That's for the top of the roof. We only need a couple for that area, so you know what? We have 4 right there. So let's do this. We're going to put those on there. They may not all match, but hey, life is like things never match properly anyway. So you want the hay, right? Sometimes you just got to say what the hay on stuff. So let's put this right here. Put something in between here to get a little bit more decoration. I now have a blue fin. I now have a blue hand. I can sit here and tell stories all night, you guys. Experiences, getting shoved down stairwells and stuff. From ghosts that didn't particularly like me. I had one ghost literally stabbing me in the back shoulder. And this is what I mean about going in sick and ill. Because of my congestive heart failure, I was just diagnosed. And I went into this house and the psychic said that they could that she could see the ghost literally stabbing me back from the back shoulder to the heart area. Okay, so I added this on there to give it a little more flair. See in between the window? So that's on there. I'll show you guys over here. I'll do it on the other side. Add a little more flair. Then we're going to look at the back wall because the back was driving me crazy. That turned out really good. That's good enough to eat. And like I said, we still got to get those other 2 candy canes in their spot. It's turning out good, man. It started to come together nicely. So let me put these on there. Nothing has to be perfect, you know. Who's going to yell? The elves? Who are we going to get yelled at? By the Keebler elves, you know? There we go. We do a little trimming here. But yeah, I mean, I have all kinds of stories. I'm writing a book right now about my experiences. So there will be a book coming out to talk about this stuff. Because I've experienced so much doing the ghost hunting. My own house too, man. You know, not just ghost hunting in general, but the stuff that's gone on in my own house. Because this house is horrendously active. But a lot of mine are like my deceased dogs come to visit, which I'm happy about. I'm glad they still want to come back and see me, you know, that kind of thing. My mom and dad are here. My uncle's here. My brother's here. Yeah, we got that. So let's work on the back wall because that's driving me crazy. We're really close on this. I mean, this is one of those deals where you get to the point where you have to figure out where you want to stop and start the other one. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the front yard too on this in the backyard. Because like I said, we have these Christmas tree things, and we can put these we can paint these green and put them in the yard. All right. So we were talking about with this, got a lot of space on here. Putting that bell up there. The question is, the bell is a weird color. We can paint the bell green or blue. So do you guys want a green bell or you want a red bell? I might be able to do red. So what do you think? You want a green bell or a red bell up there? So we can put a bell on the back. What do you guys think? Green or red? Thank you so much for the populars. Thank you. So should we make a red bell or a green bell? If I do the red bell, I'm going to have to go wash the brush again real quick. And then we can paint the bell. What do you think, Kathy? Red bell? Red? All right. Let me go wash the brush and then I'll set up so we can do a red bell, okay? Let me go wash the brush and we'll set up and do a red bell. Be right back. Got all this blue left over, but that's okay. Next time I'll have to find, like, you know, smaller little containers for it. I'll be right back. Let me go wash this and we'll do a red bell. I don't want to knock all this over. That would suck too. Everything goes flying. There goes the house. But my house. But my house. Be right back. All right. Here we go. Big bird. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue that bell, put that bell up there, and then we're going to make the frosting for it. We'll make the red frosting for it. Ow. Do I have... I don't have gold, unfortunately, no. I wish I did, but I don't. So we're going to go with red on the bell. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that bell up there right now. I'll install the bell. Red will be really nice up there. Let me get this thing. Let me get the stuff on the back of it. Gosh. Gorsh. Toothpicks. Weapon of choice. Good to see you all. We're all hanging out, kind of, you know, having some fun here. So don't forget, tomorrow at 2 o'clock again, 2 p.m. this week, we're going to be working on that National Lampoon house. Because when this one's done, the best we're probably going to be able to do with this one when it's done is get the walls put up on the National Lampoon house. You know, they get the initial walls, then we'll have to set the roof on and go from there. And we're also working on the trailer, Cousin Eddie's trailer. I got the greatest book. My dad was good. He loved Time Life books. And he would start the collections, but he wouldn't finish them. Like he had all the Old West ones, which are huge because I use them, you know, in the gold country. Because there's a whole there's 2 whole books dedicated to the 49ers and the gold rush, which I find invaluable. But he also got a hold of it. I don't know why he stopped collecting them. They had a bunch on the paranormal and supernatural. And that's where I learned about banshees, because in one book they go to Ireland and Scotland and they're talking about the different stuff that they deal with over there. Like some of the legends, like if you look in a mirror, we're almost done getting this on. If you look in a mirror and you see yourself looking over your shoulder, like a doppelganger, right? That is a sign that you're going to die. That's an impending death thing. There we go. We'll put it there, then we'll paint it. Absolutely. We can take our time. Who cares? We want to keep celebrating Christmas till the cows come home. Who cares? It's just people that are closed-minded that don't want to do that. You know, like that interesting people that came in when we first started the show. So we're going to let that dry for a couple minutes. Okay? But there you have it. Right there. Now, let's try something. I don't know how big these are. Like right here, back here, because there's open spot. Let's do something a little different, shall we? I was at Dollar Store, and I found these, and they're gummies. So I have Rudolph, I have Santa, and I have Bumble. So let's see what size these are. Because we might be able to put them down there at the bottom right there. It would be kind of cool. Let's see what size they are. Don't want to come out, of course. Why would it, right? Nothing's ever easy. Oh, perfect, you guys. That's perfect. They're gummies. Ugh. Let go. That's worse than opening Christmas gifts. Which means they must have leaked at some point. Okay. I can't even tell what they are. All right, we got some gummies we can put down there. Look at that. Look at that. You can see the pile in this room. It's like every time I do Christmas in here, and holidays, stuff just piles up in here. Because I'm having to move stuff so much around. And then break it down for the regular show. All right, let's see what we got here. And these scissors are starting to have fits. Ooh, these smell good. I don't like gummies, but these smell really good. So you guys want to you can put one thing in here each here. So do we want to put Santa there? Do we want to put Rudolph or Bumble? This is Rudolph. Where's Santa go? There's Santa. So what do you guys want to do? You want to put Bumble there? Or you want to put Rudolph or Santa? What do you want to put there? Totally up to you guys. Your gummy bears. Bumble, Rudolph, or Santa? See, here's Rudolph. There's Rudolph. All right. Here's Bumble. You guys remember Bumble, right? The abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There's Bumble. Or do you guys want to put Santa? Let me get Santa. Where'd he go? Here's Rudolph. How come Rudolph's red? Santa's green. So here's Santa. There's Santa. So what do you guys want to do? You want Bumble or Santa on there? Or Bumble and Santa and Rudolph? Or what do you want to do? We're going to fill these holes under here. Oh, you want Bumble? Okay, we'll do Bumble. Remember, he became nice because they pulled his teeth. So I bought these specifically for this, and then when we make the yard part on here, we can put some of these on the yard. But I kid you not, I went into the dollar store on the 26th of December, and all the Christmas was down to like one corner, and the rest is all Valentine's Day right now. And you can hate me all you want. Anything I have to chew more than once, I'm not going to do it. So, like, gummy bears and I don't get along. I just don't do gummies. Nor do I do those other things that they have in here. I just don't like them. Okay, let's get Bumble on there. Oh, there it is. Get your whips out. There's Sleigh Ride, you guys. Let me get this stuck up there. It's probably going to be hard because these are going to flap down and watch. May have to put them on lower. As long as they stick, we're good. That looks good there if it'll stay there. That'll look really cool there. Bumble. And this is almost ready. Give that a few minutes and I'll start painting that one. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Oh, look at the snow. Do, 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 do. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. It's grand. Just holding your hand. Yeah, that looks nice. We got Bumble right there. Look at that. See, this back was all plain and look icky. And now we got stuff on here. It's starting to look nice. Okay, there's your bubbles. There we go. Bubbles on. Let me lift up for you guys over here. There is Bumble. See him? There's Bumble. Look at that. There's Bumble. There's what fell? What fell? Something went. Oh, okay. Never mind. I can fix that. So there's Bumble. Okay. Let me fix this real quick. That was me messing around with it. The question is, where did it come off of? I know it came off. We just had a massive collapse, guys. We're going to have to do a rebuild. Just had a massive collapse. It's because that stuff I used was so bad. So, this is going to set us back. Look at that. It just collapsed. And that's because it'll be fixed, though. Everything came down. Wow. Well, that's the end of that. Look at that. Did you guys see that? Well, at least Bumble can dry now. The good news is that I can fix it. The bad news is that I told you that frosting I was using originally was so cruddy. You want to see? There was the roof. Everything just went. Look, everything's gone. So, that is not my fault. That original frosting that I used was so bad. This is what happened. So we're gonna we'll set the walls up. We should be back with this in a day. By tomorrow. It should be all right. Okay, we just gotta put the walls back up. So let's just fill this stuff back up. Let's not panic. See how it's all dry? Look how dry it is coming off. That's how bad that stuff was. So here's what we're gonna do. Nothing else fell off. So we're okay. So what we'll do, think of it this way. People do this all the time. They'll decorate the walls and then they'll put them up. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. This really bites. It could have been an entity, yeah, because I was talking about that stuff. Could very well have been an entity. But this stuff is so dry. So let me flake this stuff off. So what we're going to do, we're not going to panic. Everything's cool. We'll just reset it with this frosting. It'll just take an extra night or two to get it set, okay? So I'm not going to panic. It could have been an entity because we were talking about all that stuff. Could have very well been an enemy. That's not happy with my conversation. So let's not panic. Okay, everything's cool. We're just gonna reset it, okay? So that means once I set it, we're gonna probably stop for the night. Well, that sucks. It was going so well. It was so pretty. I'll have to reset the candy canes on the side and everything too. So let me get this reset. Let me get some globby stuff I can glob this on with. And we're just going to glob the hell out of it to get this stuff mounted back on. It will work though. So let's do this. That sucked. But you know what? This stuff is horrible. I told you guys when I was building it, I did not like that that original. In fact, guess what we're going to do? Instead of messing with this again and fighting all this, let me see if I can scrape off. If not, I'm going to flip it over. And then we'll put it on the other side. I'm not going to sit here and fight this all night. Yeah, see? Okay, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. This isn't a problem. See that right here? That's where it's going. So here we go. So let's go ahead. We're going to set everything on. Nothing broke. We lost a couple candy canes, up on top. That came down. We can fix that. That's all. Everything that happened is fixable. So here's what we're going to do. We'll just have to continue this tomorrow. I hate to do it. We were so close. But it's that horrible take. See how this is? Look at how I can just take it off like that. It shouldn't be like that. But it was the horrible original icing that it came with. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do this. We're going to start it again. We'll put everything back up. And then we'll just let it set. Because a lot of the times, if and we can actually start vacation now. Yeah, see how dry? It's BS. So let's just go ahead and do this. And we'll reset it and we'll wait. Okay? It's turning out really good. I think we're within about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of finishing. So we might as well just do a reset and let it reset itself. Well, that happened quickly, didn't it? It could have been an Eddy. Because the last time I was talking ghost hunting in here, I took a real huge hit and didn't know it till the next day. So, all right, let me see what I can do here. We're just going to reset it. It was pretty, huh? It was a beautiful house. So let's just do a reset here. So we'll get globs. Let me go grab a plastic spoon. If we're going to do this, let's just glob it all. I've had enough. Let me go get a plastic spoon. I'll fix this. It's not a problem. But that stuff was so bad, it just got too hard and didn't fit. However, we're going to fix it. This is not a problem.
Free holiday music. This is North Pole Radio on iHeartRadio.
Let me get a pen. Okay. There we were, fly along. Now I can honestly say that it took 2 years for the other ones that I had done to do that. I can honestly say I've never had that collapse like that during a build. Ever. But okay. All right, let's get this going here. We're going to glob this on. We're going to make this stuff stick with proper frosting tonight. Okay? So we'll get these on. This is not a problem. See these big old globs? We're just going to glob the living crap out of it. I'm just going to glob the living hell out of it. Okay. Okay. Let me get a side here. we can start putting this thing up. Because I'm going to have to get, where is the other? There it is. I need this. But we didn't lose everything, so it's not like it's going to hurt us that much. Oh, there you are. Okay, here's what we're going to do. So let me get this up. Well, that was a big bummer, wasn't it, gang? Oh, we did lose that, though, but that's okay. We're going to lose stuff. We'll just put it back. It's not a problem. Yep, that fell off, too. That stuff's so dry. It was so bad that it just didn't want to hold. And this is going to be a problem, too, here. Because we got to get through all this, too. Look how it's flaking off. Okay, I'm going to prop this up real quick so we can start putting the sides on. Yeah, look how it's all flaking off. It was looking good, too. Thank you. All right, let me get this over here and we'll try and get this side up. So we're going to have to put the sides back up on this, do some general repair. Why is that upside down? Oh, that's the roof. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to glob the hell out of it is what I'm going to do. We're going to glob the dickens out of this. It's going to take overnight to dry, but we're going to glob the hell out of it. I'll have to write the company and ask, that's what I'll have to do, because this is nasty.
You're listening to North Pole Radio.
And I think this is a lot of the reason why I was the best person to take care of my mother with dementia. Because I have like a childlike thing going on to where I could really understand her mind and the way it was working. Because as forgetful as she was a child because she couldn't remember stuff. I mean, when you come right down to it. And that's how I handled it. I got my big screen TV in the other room. I hooked my laptop. Back then, they didn't have internet on TVs, first. So I would hook my laptop up to the TV, and I'd take her to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to brace this, because we know we have it built. That's not a problem. So what we have to do is just wait overnight and wait for it to settle and get together. The sides. Then we can get the roof back on. And everything else is pretty much built. See, the candy canes are together. The stuff that was supposed to be on the corners. So we'll just put everything back on the corners when it's dried. I mean, it's not like it's going to kill us. But I'm going to push this back because I want to have a bigger front yard. Oh, see, it's already sticking. Look at that. It's already attaching. That's what you want, not like that other crap did. Okay. I want to go a little further back because I want to have a little bit of a yard so we can put stuff in the yard. So let's take it back. Okay, right there's good. So let me plug those together. It'll work out. Everything's going to work out. A lot of that came out on the side, which I knew was looking like I loved it. This is all going to work out. Everything will be fine. So I'm not too worried about it. A lot of this fell off. So we'll fix that too, but it'll be easy fix. Makes me mad, but it'll be easy fix. So that side's on. Let me flip it around. Part of the wreath fell off, which that's, I tell you, that stuff was horrible to work with. I was having all kinds of trouble building with it. So this will all go together. So I'm not worried about it. Let me flip it around. See, I'm just putting the walls back on. I'm globbing the walls back on right now. Let me get this other wall. And like I said, we'll have to wait with the walls. That's going to be a bit of a wait because we want to make sure that they're stable before we put the roof on. So this is just about going to end our night, man. We were flying along. I'm so excited. But no. So I'm just going to glob a little bit ahead. Because we're going to make snow for the fronts of the houses anyway, like for the snow trees. What we'll do tonight, after I get this done, we'll go ahead and paint those trees since I have the stuff made. The colors made. I'll go ahead and paint the green for the trees. The trees. We'll go ahead and do that. That way we'll have it done. That way that'll all be done and ready to go. So we're going to glob this bad boy on. Put him on now. Everything will be fine. My dad was a person that everything was a big deal with him. I'm missing the back wall. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I got it. My dad, everything that went wrong was a major event. And I'm not like that. My mother's not like that either. So, I mean, my whole attitude is, there's no point getting upset. It's like the people that hit their finger with a hammer and then they get mad at the hammer and they hit the hammer. What good does it do you to hit the hammer? The hammer doesn't care. It's an inanimate object, just like this. This doesn't care. It's inanimate. It doesn't care what we do. So the only way to deal with this is to just pick it up. And, we have it all pretty much pretty much like we want it. Just pick the dang thing up and just reset it. That's all. What else can you do? Okay, so that brings me to what we were working on. Let's do this while we have it down. I'm going to move this over here, let it dry. Not a problem. And we'll work on some of the exterior stuff we were going to work on, okay? So we're just going to move this over here now. Okay, let me make sure I got the right size fit for the back. And then we're going to do the trees for the yard. And we'll go ahead and do the bell. There's no point. Oh, it's hanging off the table. That's done. So there's no point, getting upset over any of this. I can cuss. Guys, I can cuss with the best of them. That's got to move over a little bit, that one. I can cuss like a New York City cab driver if I want to. But I don't want to. This is just kind of out more than it should. This should be more in this way. There we go. And that's let go right there already. That candy cane's popping off. That's okay. I just want to make sure it's in the right spot for when it dries, so we can get this thing on right when the time comes. Even Bumble's up higher. Bumble moved on us. Ding dong, ding dong, ding 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 ding. Okay, I think we got this. Yeah, we should be right where we need to be here. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. I got the bracers on here, so it's not gonna fall. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work on our stuff, okay? First off, since we have the green done, we might as well do a couple of Christmas trees for the front of the house that we were going to put out in the yard, remember? Because we were talking about that. So we'll take the paintbrush and we'll go ahead and paint the Christmas trees, the ones we're going to use for the front. So I can't lose any of this. I need this stuff because that's part of the wreath. Anything that I'm seeing loose to put in there so I don't lose it. These candy canes obviously have a place to go, so we're going to put all this up here so we don't misplace parts because we need these parts for the build. Okay, that works. All right. The roof, I don't know if I have all those green Christmas trees for the roof. However, if we lost the green Christmas trees, I don't find them again. I see 3 instead of 4, so I don't know where the 4th one went. We can always put Bumble or Santa and Rudolph on the roof. Hey, Blessed. So here's what we'll do. We'll get this part done and then we'll call it, let it dry. And by tomorrow, we should be able to start finishing off the build again. Just fix the stuff that fell off and finish off that build. In the meantime, let's go grab some of these Christmas trees. So these trees, we were going to put them out in the yard anyway. So let's see if we can get some trees that aren't broken in here. They have little mini houses and bells and all kind of stuff in here. And they're gingerbread snaps. There's a tree. It's kind of broken, but we can use it. Okay. They're ginger snaps. So it's so good. It's so good. But I was complaining about that stuff when we have snowflakes too, which are kind of cool. I was really not going to eat one now because it's a heart. Yeah. when I was putting it together, I was complaining about this. But I didn't like the way that stuff was so stiff. Now we know why, right? I'll save those for the Valentine's thing. Here's another one. So let's paint the trees. So figure we'll put maybe 2 trees in each yard, the front and back. We'll just paint these. Pull them off. We can even put one alongside the house if we want later on. God, it was looking so pretty. All right, that's it for the Christmas trees. So that one's missing a branch. That's what happens. That's why you never want to eat. Like when you get done making these things, you never want to eat the kit unless it's something like an Oreo cookie, because you know that's newer. But you never want to eat the treats or you never want to eat the gingerbread houses when you're done, because for that frosting to act like that had to be super old. So if you get to the point where, God, I got a vacuum in here. Ants be everywhere. You get to the point to where that frosting is doing what it's doing, you don't want to eat that. Eat that cookie. Hi, Blessing. Hello. Good thing I'm a calm person. Okay. So let's paint the trees. We'll flock them with snow. Give that time to dry. And think of it that way. We will spend tomorrow painting the trees. So all that'll be done. Everything will be almost done for this thing. So let's paint some trees, shall we? I wonder if this stuff got gnarly. Nope, not yet. So we're going to paint these trees, and then we'll go ahead and flock them. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. It could have been a ghost, but I think that stuff is just tough. It was hardening up in the first place, and it just didn't hold. So it's okay. So we'll get these trees painted. We'll go ahead and paint that bell. That'll be ready to go for tomorrow. And I'll put the back before we leave tonight. I'll put the back of the house on to let it dry overnight. It'll be fine. I like crafting. If I could have made money, doing crafts and stuff, I would do that. But my mother used to. When they retired, that's what they did. For like 10 years, they did crafting. They raised chihuahuas, and they did arts and crafts. Christmas crafts, all kinds of stuff. See, we'll get the edges of this. I like decorating Christmas cookies, you guys, I'm always in a hurry. I never have time to do Christmas cookies. And, to actually paint them and stuff. Well, here we are. Till. But I'm not surprised by the collapse. I didn't like that stuff I was using. It'll be all right. That's why with the vacation house, I already know what color the frosting is. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the necessary color, so we don't go through this situation. See, so I'll paint the trees, because these are all going to go in the front yard. And then I'll leave these, until we work tomorrow. They'll be all dry tomorrow. Those cookies are really good, by the way. I might watch Christmas Vacation when I have dinner tonight. Disney Plus has a bunch of the Christmas stuff still, so I might watch that. I was was disappointed. I got
All holiday
a certain
music
TV thing
commercial-free.
so I could get to the Hallmark movies. You know, to get that Christmas cheer going. But I'm a Lacey Chabert fan. I was really disappointed because this year they only offered one of her movies for free. The rest you had to pay extra for. So I was really bummed about that. So I didn't keep that service. It made me mad. Could have been worse. It could have collapsed all over the cell phones. Okay, that one's done. See, we'll just get these things painted up. And then again, we'll paint the bell. And then we'll put the wall up. So you guys can see the wall, the back wall. Then I might fix the wreath later. We'll see. The main thing is to make sure the walls are staying up, and then I can fix the wreath. You know, and do the repairs. It'll be fine. And I'll be able to take a toothpick. After these dry, I'll be able to take a toothpick on here and put snow flocking on these things. So that'll be cool. Boy, was that dry. I'll have to have a word with the company. Then we used to do things old-fashioned. We used to do popcorn on our trees and all that, but then our dogs started to eat it. So we stopped doing all that stuff. Real gingerbread men, right? And the dogs would eat it. But I mean, the popcorn, you know, here it's got thread in there. The dogs are eating the popcorn. That can't be good. It'll be fine. Do a quickie on these, and I'll wash the brush, and we'll probably our last thing tonight will be to do the bell on the other tree over there, on the other side, so I can put that up. Now I have green fingers, I have blue fingers. Soon to have red fingers. See, these are going to go in the front backyard. Hope you guys are having fun. Despite the mind cave in.
iHeartRadio's North Pole Radio.
Good to see everybody tonight. Oh, 9,000 likes. That's pretty good for you guys. Yeah, see, I mean, just a minor inconvenience to just reset the walls and everything, and that'll be taken care of. You know. In the meantime, we can get this other stuff done, which we would have been painting tomorrow anyway, so. The vacation house is going to be interesting because those little lights that are the yellowish color lights, those are little lights to stick on there. I'm going to have to do those with a toothpick individually to get them on. Oh, there you go, Love Actually, yeah. I haven't seen that. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen, and that's why I have to get back and look stuff up. Just like when I got Disney Plus for the first time in a while, I actually never seen the Marvel movies. There was stuff I hadn't seen, like the new Haunted Mansion movie. Oh my God, the psychic in there is just too much. I was on the floor. They made her so funny, but you know what? They made her so funny, and yet I've known psychics over the years that are just like her. And that's what makes me laugh so hard when I watch it. There are psychics like that woman. I just watched Cadillac Records a few weeks ago. I really thought that was a great movie. I love Etta James and all those people. Muddy Waters. I thought Cadillac Records was an excellently done movie. And then there's Daisy Jones in the Six, or Daisy What's Your Face with the Six, with Riley Keough. She got some pipes. My heart really gets happy and swelled up when I think of Riley Keough because Elvis looking down on her, he must be very proud of her because, Elvis always wanted to be taken seriously as an actor and he always wanted to produce and things like that. And they never let him do it. And his granddaughter is doing all that stuff. Plus she's singing and doing all this stuff. So he must really, really be proud of her. And I just think it's amazing. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a Lisa Marie Presley fan. I didn't think she had a good voice at all. And Riley Keough, it skipped a generation. Riley Keough has it all. And so wherever Elvis is watching her from, he's very happy because she got it all, and she's just fabulous. Okay, we're gonna paint this bell. Let me go clean the brush, and I'll be back, and we will paint the bell red. And then once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and put the back on here. And I'm trying to think of anything that I want to work on. Right now, that would get us ahead tomorrow. But, this candy cane broke. So we're going to have to replace it. You bless it, all the hell. So there's stuff we got to work on. But I'll pre-cut the candy canes tomorrow and stuff to make sure we got them on there. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else because there's really, I can't put like the wreath on yet until the roof is, until the walls are back up and attached properly. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go ahead and paint the bell. And then we're going to call it. And I'm going to, connect this. Let it connect overnight. We'll call it a night. And then tomorrow we'll get back in here and continue from where, I'll try and get the roof on maybe tonight. I'll come in after dinner. See if I'm able to get the roof on. And, we should, there's no reason why we can't be on the same, we're almost to the point where we're done with it. You know what I mean? We're right there with it. It's just we have some setbacks. Because that horrible stuff didn't attach. All right, let me clean the brush. I'll go ahead and make red. And we'll go ahead and paint that bell. And then I'll attach this on there. And that's going to probably do it tonight. That's all I can do it. I'll be right back. It's sad because we were right there with it. And it's frustrating on one hand, but there's a light bulb that came off right there. That one's like trying to find little tiny Lego parts that fall on your floor. I'll be right back. Let me clean the brush. Then we'll paint that, and then I'll go ahead and put the wall up. And that's all we can do. I'm not going to put the roof on until we know all this is secure. What a pain in the rumpus. What a pain in the rumpus. But we'll survive. All right, kids, let's do this, and then that'll be the end for the night. I'll make some bread. Let's hope this bread's working. If not, I can always go pick some up. It looks like it's soft enough to work for what I need. Okay. Something to make it in. We're having fun, aren't we? We're always having fun. All right, I'm going to use one of these. Which one's going to make... Oh, there's a tree. Okay. Which one is this? Green sugar crystals. Well, I'm going to use that. Always tip over it. Okay. Let's make our frosting. And let's do our red so we can make the bill. Then, like I said, I'm going to put the ball on, and then we're going to call it a night because we got to let all that set before we touch it again. And it will sit nicely. This room is the hottest room in my house. So we don't want to make too much of this because we don't need a lot of it. A little bit like that. I know you guys are just waiting for me to lick off of that, aren't you? I know you are. Okay, this is gel. This should work. This should mix in pretty well. Watch, I'll make a big ass mess now. Oh, I wonder if we can just... You know what? We may not have to do that. We can use the shell. Let's see if I can use the brush in the shell. Maybe it'll save me having to paint. Instead of having to make it. Let's see if I can spread the gel. That might be easier, guys. Oh yeah, here we go. Don't have to make it. Oh, hot diggity. Good call, Kathy. Good call. We'll just put the gel on this bad boy. There we go. Good. I don't have to make frosting. There we go. Cool. Very cool. Hang your mistletoe. I'm going to get to know you better this Christmas. My dad would make me laugh. My family makes me laugh because this time of year, they always take note that the electrical bill is going to go way up high because of the Christmas lights. As soon as I got it, one more set of lights arriving. As soon as they arrive, I will take a picture. I will do video for you guys of my front yard, which turned out pretty good. And no, as you can guess, I'm never bored. I've always got something going on. Between Tiki Talk and everything else. Jing, jing, jingling to get that whip out. Yeah, that works. Now we're rolling. And this is going to be it. Once I hang this upward, that's going to do it for today. I'll have to come in here and do some cleaning. But other than that, we are done with that. And then we'll figure out what we're going to run along the bottom of this. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Oh, look at the snow. This is red gel that I'm working with right now. Great thinking, Kathy. And I'll show you in a sec. Okay, let me balance it off now with a toothpick. Aren't toothpicks wonderful tools? Use toothpicks for everything. Halloween pumpkins. Your pumpkin starts to collapse when you're carving it. Super glue and toothpicks. Works like a charm. Look how it tastes. Should I try it? Woo! I'll be up all night now. It's all good. Okay, I got an edge right there. We're with it. Then we're going around. Okay, I see where I'm at. I'll show you, and it's going to look really good. Where did I put it? There it is. Give me a little bit more right here so I can add that edge. Thank you. That actually looks really good. Let me get on that line. Look up. Look up. Look up. There we go, right there on the edge. It's funny when you look at the Polar Express. I was thinking about years ago because Herbersheimer's, the toy store, when they go by and all the little characters are moving around. When I was growing up, it wasn't like the toy stores that had that. It was the car dealers. It was always the Chrysler dealer that had that stuff. And so my dad would pile us into the car, and we'd have to go to the Chrysler dealership to see those things moving like that. But they always had those characters moving around and stuff. But that was the Chrysler.
You know Dasher and Dancer and
So every time I see that scene with Herbersheimer's, it makes me laugh. Okay, so okay, I think we got this. Oh, nice and sticky. Yeah! Sticky.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
What a cleanup today, man. Didn't see this coming.
You would even say it glows.
Nemyo.
The other reindeer
Okay, let's get a straight line here is what I'm going for.
him named
Straight as I get. Let's see how it looks.
never left poor Rudolph.
There we go. You guys want to see?
Reindeer game.
It's still peeling off the back still, even as I grab it. It's really irritating.
Santa came to
The roof is what's going to be an issue. See how I can just pick it off of there? I shouldn't even be able to do that.
warn you
Okay, guys, here's what it looks like.
then how the
See the bell?
reindeer loved it as they shouted out with glee.
There's the bell.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down.
So we got to be near the bell then. So, can't do the bottom of that till that dries anyway. So we're done. We're pretty much done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that up there, glob it up on up there. And that's going to do it for tonight. That's all we can do at this point with this. See, this clumped already up here. It did its job, it's drying. So this has done its job already up here. Okay. So let's make sure we have it in the spot we want it before I do this. Yeah, right there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up. That's the end for tonight. That's all we can do. That's going to do it. So tomorrow we'll get back at this at 2 o'clock. We'll try to do 2 o'clock tomorrow. 2 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. We'll try and get in there and do it. But right now we got to get this up and get it set up so that it stays up. And I'll push these in here so there they go. And then that one's starting to go that way. And so I'll take this one now. I got to get a cover for it because I turned it blue. All right, guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting for me to do this tonight. So here we go. Ready? Had to clean the spoon somehow. There you have it. The spoon is now clean. You know what I'm going to do? Eat your hearts out. There we go. That way it's all balanced in here. Eat your hearts out.
This is North Pole Radio.
Okay. So I'm going to drop this because this has stuff in it. I'm just going to drop it on top of there like that. But for right now, let me get the stuff going that we need to glob so I can install that back wall, and then we're going to call it. So let me get globby going. Let's get some glob going here so we can install. So we're going to want to do it along the bottom without knocking everything else off because this is how it's been all night. So we are globby, globby, globby. You will stick. Think of it this way. We're going to have snow in the front backyards anyway. This is how you have to look at this. It's just a little more snow than we thought. You know, around the back, around the door. Let's push that down a bit. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Yeah. Next troll that attacks me is going to get it. Okay, so we're going to want to do these walls. So I'm going to glob this I don't want to knock any of this down because it's sticking nicely. So we're going to glob the living crap out of this. Glob, you sucker, glob. Globs are good. In this situation, globs are good. Big globs are wonderful. I'm already like almost halfway through this frosting because I'm just globbing the living crap on everything. Okay, that should do it. Let me get this up. Stop eating it. Let me get this up. Here we go. Let's get this bad boy up. And just glob it on there. And there it is right there. So there it is on the back. It's all good. Think of it as a minor setback. I'm going to press against here. I don't want to do too much. There it is there. There it is. It's glob. So we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Gotta let it dry. But there you have it. The back's back up. Right like we had it. This stuff right here is from, we could probably scrape that off tomorrow. So here's what it looks like for you guys. Over here. There's the back. Okay. Here's the back. All right. So we are done. I mean, that's all we can do tonight. That's all we're going to get away with tonight because of the collapse. So we got to wait till tomorrow and let it just set. So we're done. We'll fix it all, and it should be an easy, quick fix on here. It shouldn't be too difficult to fix everything that came down. So let's try and get some. Oh yeah, don't do that. I gotta stop messing with it. We don't want to do too much to it. You know, I'm gonna quit while we're ahead right now. So that's it. That's all we can do. So glad you guys were here for this time, and I'm sorry that the stuff didn't take right, and I kind of knew it wasn't going to take right. I've been fighting it all week, you know, knowing that it wasn't working right, and let's just confirm the fact that it wasn't working right. But it'll dry nicely. It's got enough globs on there to dry nicely. Well, that one's off. See, we got to fix that one. Some of these are off. It's going to have to be fixed, but we'll deal with it when the time comes. Well, that's it then. That's all I can do right now. So we're going to have to, you know, wait till it dries so I can do the, you know, fix the stuff on there and all that. It's a bummer, but at least we got that far. I've never had one do that before. Like I said, it took 2 years for the ones that have been sitting in here to do that. That's the first time I've had it collapse that bad. But then again, that stuff I've been, like, as you know, I've been complaining about that stuff all week. You know, I've been complaining about this frosting all week. I didn't like it. All right, everybody. Well, I guess that's it. I guess we'll sign off. I'm just making sure I like where this is at. The position. Everything looks really good so far. Yeah. So that'll work. Here, this one's coming off there. So we'll try and push that one further back. It's kind of leaning. Of course, it would be the back wall. But if there's any kind of little space in between there, that's why I like to take the candy canes and fill. Aha! I just glob the crap out of my hand. That's why I like to take the candy canes and I fill those holes so you don't see those holes on the corners. That's what they're for. Here we go again. Eat your hearts out. See it? Eat your hearts out. Ha! I bet. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, another reset over here. All right, well, I think we're going to call it. Going to go have my dinner, watch some movies. But thank you, guys. We were doing really well until we had our major mine collapse. I just want to make sure it's together on the ends and stuff, that we don't have a lot of open spaces. And then, well, this is uneven. I don't know why, but we're going to go ahead and just make sure it's all together on the ends. And I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to mess with it. This is uneven for some reason, probably because the stuff is underneath there. So it's going to drive me nuts because this needs to be against here. I don't think it's going to line up correctly. But that's okay. We can fix that. Like I said, that's what the candy canes on the sides are for. Like down here at the bottom, there's a little bit of a hole. That's why that's what those candy canes are for. To fill in those holes on the ends. All right, guys. That's going to do it tonight. Dang, we were so close. We would have been done tonight. It would have been done. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock Pacific, I will be here doing this tomorrow. And we can pretty much probably tonight, tomorrow we should be able, hopefully, well, we'll get the roof on. I'll try and put the roof on tonight. After I have dinner, I'll try and pop in here. And if I can get the roof on, then we should be able to finish this thing off like we were today. It should get done tomorrow. I am going to have to go check on my new glasses. So that's going to be someplace I have to go tomorrow. But if I can get it done in the morning, then I can be back in time for 2 o'clock. So I think we're good for now. So that's where we're at. So thank you, guys. Like I said, sorry we had the job collapse. But, I mean, that's one of those things where you can see it coming because that stuff was just not working this week. You know, it just was not working properly this week. So, all better now because we have better equipment. So there's better equipment. Wonder where that little scrunchie went. But okay, so that's going to do it till tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. And thank you for the likes, everybody. And we'll have some fun tomorrow. Okay? We'll have some fun tomorrow. Again, Dick Van Dyke. Really? I wish it was the real Dick Van Dyke. I like Dick Van Dyke. So tomorrow will be another day, and it's going to look good. You know, we know it's going to look cute. We had it set up cute. So, okay, I'll try and get the roof. I'll try and get back in here tonight to put the roof on. And see how that works, because that way that'll be done for tomorrow. We can do that. So, okay, guys, see you tomorrow. And 2 p.m. Pacific, we'll get on here and finish this bad boy off, okay? There won't be hardly anything to finish it. It'll be like today. You know, when we were rolling right along with finishing it. So, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all. Bye-bye, TikTok. We're done. Okay. All right, everybody. Over here, YouTube and Facebook. I will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific. We should be able to finish this thing off, and I'll try and get the roof on tonight. That way it'll be ready for you tomorrow. It'll be all ready to go. And, yeah, we'll just finish off tomorrow. You know, we got stuff to do. We'll just finish it off. Okay, guys? I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Jennifer. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, everybody.